Okay, got all the stitching done, all the way from that end to that end. And now it's time for burnishing. Gotta make them edges pretty. And how do we go about burnishing a belt? Well, we get our sponge, wet some of it, and take our little handy dandy burnisher and go at it. And once you get the burnish to where you like it, you move on to another section. Just keep doing that down the length of the belt. And once you get a good water burnish on it, then you pull out your gum tragacanth and do a burnish with that. Kind of a dreary day out there today. It's been raining for the last few days, but that's alright. I'm sure the sun will come out someday. Anyway, I'm going to keep going with that. Keep doing some burnishing along it. Don't try to shortcut it. Make sure it looks good before you move on. It's going to take a while, but in the end, the finished product is worth it, because it'll look so good. Well, once I get along a little further, I'll come back. I've been burnishing for a little while, and I don't know how well this will show up in the camera, but you can kind of see the glint off of that edge. That's just water burnish. And this one I haven't done yet. So, bring the light over here. You can see basically your before and after. And that's why you burnish, because that looks a lot better than that. And after I get all these edges burnished, then the gum trag, then the top coat, then back to the holster. Well, I'm going to go ahead and take care of this other side. I should have this belt completely done and get that holster started. It should be pretty well along on that holster by the time I come back to see y'all. So I'm going to keep this up, get it all burnished, get the top coat on it, get the buckle, put it all together, get this finished. Then when I make the holster, I can make the belt loop so it fits this belt exactly, which would be pretty cool. Oh, belt keeper, got to take care of that too. I've got that all formed. And on the ends, like I've said in other videos, some people will just take the two ends and butt them together and put a couple stitches across it, or a couple staples. Nah, that's not good enough. I want mine to be very, very strong. So I take and I do an overlap, and then I skive the ends down so that the thickness of the overlap is pretty much equal to the thickness of the leather. And that makes it good and strong, and it sits flat so you don't have a great huge lump of leather right where the buckle sits, or right where this sits. And I still got to do the burnishing and the edge coating and the top coating on that one, and then I'll stitch it together. So that'll be the belt keeper. Let me get back to that. Well, now the belt's pretty much done. I got the edges all taken care of. I got the belt retainer on it, the buckle, it's all assembled. We'll just put this thing together real quick. Yeah, it's a bit stiff because, well, double layered leather, and that's really what you want. Check this out. Now that's the way a belt that's going to hold up a gun should act. Right there. And no, you can't fold it lengthwise either. Next up though, before I put this thing to bed for the night, is I'm going to put on a coat of neat's foot oil. Oh, where am I? Neat's foot oil. And I'm going to buff it out and leave it sit overnight, and then tomorrow I'm going to start working on that holster. But like I said, belt's done except for the neat's foot, but that's just like a last step. Put it on, buff it out, and just leave it set and soak. Well, it'll soak in the neat's foot. Reason you use that is actually because the dye itself will dry out the leather a bit, and the neat's foot just puts the moisture back in. That way it'll last longer and, well, look pretty. But that's it for the belt.